Hi guys, hello ladies, and welcome everyone to Paul Brooks TV. Happy Halloween. It is deep into spooky season at this point, and so I thought, hey, you know what? Last year I did a Halloween episode of Public Domain Theater, so let's do it again this year. I'm very excited. Thank you for being here with me. Hope your October 2021 has been going well. And I'm very excited about today because we're going to be watching one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Can you tell? Can you tell what it says? It says, "They're dead, they're all messed up." It's Night of the Living Dead, the original George A. Romero classic zombie film, the one that started it all, really. And I have some food that I'm going to be eating during the movie, a lot like last time, if you saw last year's video where I watched The Love Witch and ate a lot of Taco Bell nachos. This year we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'll go ahead and show you what it is right now. I have a little GoPro here that I'm going to be using as well. Oh my goodness. What in the heck is this? Yes, it's Little Caesars. I got the new, what's it called? Crazy Calzony. It's like a weird hybrid abomination of pizza and a calzone. So we're going to be digging into that momentarily. But right now, let's start the movie. Let's get into some Night of the Living Dead for Public Domain Theater. Ready and roll it. I have seen this movie so many times, I have completely lost track. I love it. All right, let's get into this Little Caesars while the movie is starting up. So I got some crazy bread and some marinara sauce along with it. Not really, not really what we're here for. Let's open this guy up and see what we got. Good Lord. I mean, I like garbage food, so I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty interesting. I'm glad they gave me a lot of napkins. I don't quite know how to do this. I don't quite know. And there's like cheese oozing out of the side of it. And then there's this pepperoni in the middle and everything. Wow. Is this a good idea? Like, is this a healthy idea? Absolutely not. But we're going for it. It's got that Little Caesars taste to it, you know. Very garlicky. Not bad, not bad. I'm just going to be using this periodically. I'm not going to film the whole thing like I did last time.
They ought to make the day the time changes, the first day of summer.
What?
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us. Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this? You know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh, I don't know that she can. Is there any of that candy left?
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth. Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
Russ Streiner and Judith O'Day here, of course. I had an opportunity earlier this summer to meet Mr. Russ Streiner. And stay tuned because a little later on in the episode here, I'm going to show you some photos that I took of me and him in Monroeville, Pennsylvania earlier this summer.
Nothing wrong with the radio. Must have been the station.
Which row is it in?
And I'm also going to show you some photos of the Evansville City Cemetery where this very famous scene was filmed. I visited the cemetery earlier this summer, and it was an amazing experience. So I will show you in a little bit here some photos of that, so stay tuned.
Well, it's late. If you'd gotten up earlier.
Oh, look, I already lost an hour's sleep on the time change.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk. There it is.
This is one of the most famous opening scenes in movie history, really, you know? Like, I think a lot of people, when they think of Night of the Living Dead, they think of this scene.
Each year we spend good money on
This opening part of the movie, you know?
Well, the flowers die, and the caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish. You can clean this up. Sell it next year. Wonder how many times we bought the same one.
Very cheesy. Pretty good. Good tasting, not good for you.
Hey, come on, Barb. Church was this morning, huh?
Uh-oh. Prayers for church.
Hey, I mean prayings for church, huh? Come on.
I haven't seen you in church lately.
Well, there's not much sense in my going to church. Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boy, you'll be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny.
You're still afraid.
Stop it now, I mean it.
Here it comes.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
One of the most
Stop
famous
it.
scenes
You're acting like a child.
in movie
Coming
history.
for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
Watch out, Barbara. No, watch out. Uh-oh. I'm gonna bust open some marinara sauce here as Johnny meets his end. Spoiler. Unfortunate. Seemed like a nice guy. Well, Johnny seemed like an okay guy. Russ Streiner, great guy. I had so much fun meeting him and getting to hang out with him and interviewing him a little bit for B-Movie Mania. Put a link down below to the full interview that I did with him earlier this summer if you would like to check that out, which you should. Great guy. Very, very nice. Gave me some good tips about corn in Evans City. Apparently some of the best corn that you can find anywhere in the world. Who knew? But right now it's not about corn, it's about this awful food I'm shoving into my face. This Crazy Calzony from Little Caesars. Can I eat the whole thing? I think so. It's gonna take some doing though. This is quite a bit of food. I don't think I'm even gonna be able to get to the breadsticks, I'm not gonna lie. Save that for later. But right now, Barbara, crashing the car. She is in dire straits. Bill Heinzman here, one of the most famous zombies of all time, of course, chasing Barbara. Yeah, it was so much fun getting to visit that cemetery. And then, of course, the famous farmhouse from the movie here has been long since torn down. Maybe some of you know this if you're a big fan of Night of the Living Dead, maybe some of you don't. But yeah, this house, basically, I guess they were allowed to shoot in this house because it was going to get torn down pretty soon anyway. So this house has not been around for a very long time. And she's in. Also a little later on, stick around because I'm going to be showing off my entire Night of the Living Dead collection. I have lots of different versions of the movie on various formats, Blu-ray and DVD mostly. So stick around because I'm going to do a little show and tell. If I can get through all of this food, which I better start picking up the pace. I am well known, famous you might even say, for my slow eating. I am not someone who I would not win any hot dog eating challenges on Coney Island or anything like that. It's like if you're gonna eat something, take your time and enjoy it, you know? That's always been my outlook, but that's how I keep my girlish figure. So many things that I love about this movie, including the way it's shot. Pretty much all of George A. Romero's movies, I am a big fan of the way that they are filmed. This movie was filmed in 1967. And came out in 1968, in case you're not aware. Shot on 35mm film, black and white. And it is in the public domain. That may surprise some people because it is such a famous film. But it's also a big reason why there's so many different versions of it. Ben! Ben is in the house.
It's all right. Don't worry about him. I can handle him. Probably be a lot more of them as soon as they find out about us.
Dwayne Jones. The late, great Dwayne Jones.
This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? We can try to get out of here if we can get some gas. Is there a key?
This is kind of something that some people don't like about the movie, is how Barbara
Suppose you tried this.
kind of goes mute. But she's been through some shit. Come on. You know?
Do you live here?
She's traumatized. That part of the movie, horrible.
We've got to get out of here. We have to get to where there's some other people.
Like, scary horrible, you know?
Maybe we better take some...
Gets me every time.
I'll see if I can find some food.
I'm going through too much of the marinara sauce. The calzone, the Crazy Calzony, I think that's what it's called. I might be getting it wrong. I don't even know. But it's not as overpowering as I kind of thought it might be in terms of like the flavor. It's, I had watched a YouTube review where somebody else ate it and they said that it was too much. But I guess I'm just used to gross food because it's not overpowering to me at all. Kind of like it, unfortunately.
2 of them. There are 2 of them out there. Have you seen any more around here? I can take care of those 2.
I don't
I know you're afraid, but we have
I
to...
don't know! I don't know! What's happening?
One of the things that you don't see in other zombie movies is their ability here to like use tools. Like Bill Heinzman earlier was using a brick. They just busted out the lights of Ben's car, the headlights. Don't see that every day in other zombie movies. Here's John Russo, co-writer of the film, and I also had an opportunity to meet him earlier this summer at the zombie convention that I was at in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, and I will also show some photos of that a little later on too. I'm making you work for it. You gotta wait until I'm at least through like half of this or something. But he was also great, and he told me and Stephanie, my friend Stephanie, he told us some dirty jokes. And Ben is going to kill him right now. Ben is just all business, man. I mean, he is just over here just TCBing like crazy. And that's why we love him. All right, progress report. I'm 25% finished. Like I said, don't think I'm going to get to this crazy bread at all, but I'm 25% of the way through this Crazy Calzony, and I'm going to keep working on it. There's my view.
Don't look at it.
Maybe I'll do like... I'll do one more of these, and then I'll start showing off some DVDs or some photos. Which should I do first? I don't know, I'll figure it out. Man, this thing is greasy as hell. I don't know what else I was expecting. After this, though, I am going to be eating really good, really healthy for the rest of the year. How about that? To make up for what I'm doing to myself right now. If I survive this.
Get some more lights on in this house.
Just drinking some water. Thought about getting a soda, but don't want to overdo it, anything. Good old H2O. Stranger Things.
Why don't you see if you can find some wood, some board, something about a fireplace, something we can nail this place up. Oh, God damn! Look, I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we'll have to work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place up. Do you understand? Okay? Okay?
Another fun fact about Dwayne Jones, the lead actor here. He was a very serious, like, East Coast thespian, I guess. And, the role for him, this role of Ben, was kind of originally written for a truck driver character. They didn't really have any plans to make him black, specifically. But Dwayne's audition, I guess, was just... He had a great audition, and George and the filmmakers really liked him, and they offered him the role, and he sort of transformed it into this completely different character from what it was initially intended to be. I kind of love that. Because I don't think that this movie would have been nearly successful if it was, you know, like a white truck driver character. He is such a big... Dwayne Jones is such a big part of this movie. It's just hard to picture anyone else in the role, you know? Passed away fairly young. In, I want to say, 1985 or 1988, something like that. He was not very old, unfortunately. One of the things I think works so well about this movie is just how simple it is. Zombies outside, board up the house inside, find a way to survive, you know, nail a bunch of doors to the windows. It's like anyone can relate to this. Anyone can figure out what's going on. People, you don't even have to speak English to like really be able to watch this movie. People all over the world can identify with survival, you know? I think that that's why it's stood the test of time for so long. Again, if you're a big fan of the movie, you probably know some of the stuff that I'm talking about. But if you're not a big fan, I don't know, I'm hoping that some of my commentary here is interesting.
I want you to pick out some nails. Pick out the biggest ones you can find.
If not, just watch me eat this food.
There, this room looks pretty secure. If we have to, we can run in here and board up the doors. Won't be long for those things to be back pounding their way in here. They're afraid now. They're afraid of fire. I found that out.
Show off my t-shirt here a little bit.
You know a place back down the road called Beekman's? Beekman's Diner?
Bright rags.
Anyhow, that's where I found that truck I have out there. There's a radio on the truck. I had jumped in to listen to it when a big gasoline truck came screaming right across the road. But there must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on. Now, I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. And those things were catching up to it. The truck went right across the road. Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now it's like a moving bonfire. Didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. Still hear the man screaming. This thing is just backing away from it. I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me. It was when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled. There wasn't a sign of life left except by now there were no more screams. I realized that I was alone with 50 or 60 of those things, just standing there, staring at me. I started to drive. I just plowed right through them. They didn't move, they didn't run or just stood there, staring at me. Just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
Great monologue.
We were riding in the cemetery, Johnny and me. Johnny. We came to put a wreath on my father's grave. Johnny, and he said, "Can I have some candy, Barbara?"
Once I get through this, I'll be halfway done.
We didn't have any. And, oh, it's hot in here. Hot. And he said, "Oh, it's late. Why did we start so late?" And I said, "Johnny, if you'd gotten up earlier, we wouldn't be late." Johnny asked me if I were afraid. And I said, "I'm not afraid, Johnny." And then this man started walking up the road.
Very garlicky.
Slowly. And Johnny kept teasing me and saying, "He's coming to get you, Barbara." And I laughed at him and said, "Johnny, stop it." And then Johnny ran away. And I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
Why don't you just keep calm?
And I looked up, and I said, "Goody." And he grabbed me. He grabbed me, and he ripped at me. He held me, and he ripped at my clothes.
I think you should just calm down.
Oh, I screamed, "Johnny! Johnny, help me! Oh, help me!" And he wouldn't let me go. He ripped. And then Johnny came and he ran and he fought this man. And I got so afraid. I ran. And Johnny didn't come. We have to wait for Johnny.
I'm just trying to do some work here, you know, during the monologues.
We better go out and get him. We have to go out and get Johnny. He's out there. Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please! We have got to go get Johnny! Please help me! Please!
Don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you understand? My brother is alone!
Your brother is dead.
No! My brother is not dead! Oh.
Wow, Ben. Wow. I'm pretty sure Johnny's dead, Barbara. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but don't know if you saw what happened in that cemetery. It wasn't good. All right, last bite and then I'll be halfway done.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat,
Boom.
these are the facts as we know them. There is an
Can I do it?
murder being committed by a virtual
I mean, I'm 32 minutes in right now to the movie. I'm halfway done. So, not bad. I mean, I got an hour to finish it.
A sudden general explosion of mass homicide. We have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses
Can
say they
it
are
be
ordinary
done?
people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being
Tell you what I'm going to do. Take a little break right now from eating. And I will show you some of the photos that I took of my trip to Monroeville, Pennsylvania earlier this summer. Here is me and Russ Streiner, who played Johnny in the film. And he was a big part of the company that made this movie and lots of other movies that George Romero directed. Like I said, great guy, very nice, very friendly, very sweet. Really enjoyed getting to spend a few minutes with him. And he did the famous "They're coming to get you, Barbara" line for me. for the interview. And like I said, link down below if you'd like to see my full interview with him and with John Russo, who is also great.
This crisis develops further. Thousands of office and
The Living Dead weekend at Monroeville Mall was a fantastic experience. Really liked it. That's the mall where they shot Dawn of the Dead, the sequel to Night of the Living Dead. Really fantastic.
or apparently to flee just anywhere. We repeat, the safest course of action at this time is simply to stay where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just received word that the president has
And I'll go ahead and show you some photos from Evansville Cemetery, where Night of the Living Dead was filmed.
within the hour.
It's maybe about 45 minutes away from Pittsburgh, maybe a half hour, I can't quite remember, but nice area, really neat cemetery, really cool to get to have an opportunity to be over in that part of the country and see where they shot the film, all the famous, tombstones, gravestones, the buildings, the trip up up the driveway to the cemetery, all that good stuff. Me and my friend Stephanie went up there for the day and saw the sights and had a great time.
Radio and TV, and to stay indoors at all costs.
And even though it's been over 50 years, it hasn't changed that much. I mean, cemeteries don't really change all that much. They had to raise some money to restore the building, but that more or less looked the same. So, obviously it's a famous cemetery because of this film. And there's a lot of people, I'm sure, who go all the time to visit the cemetery to find the filming locations. There was, I think, one other person there while we were there, sort of taking in the sights as well, which is not surprising because it was Living Dead weekend, so. But if you're ever in Evans City, Pennsylvania, do go out of your way to check out the cemetery and see for yourself where this classic movie was filmed. You'll feel, you'll feel the history there a little bit. It's a neat experience. And while you're there, maybe pick up some sweet corn. Like Russ Streiner said, some of the best sweet corn in all of the world, apparently. I didn't get a chance to do it because we couldn't quite figure out where to get it. I don't know. There wasn't any stands on the road. Maybe you just have to go into a field and pick some yourself. I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, loved having a chance to take that trip over the summer. Highly recommend you do it as well.
Found a gun and some bullets out there.
It was only late yesterday
And these.
it became clear we were facing some kind of national emergency. When first reports began filtering in, newsmen and law enforcement agencies were of the opinion
This place is boarded up pretty solid.
Oh,
However, as these
We ought to be all right here for a while.
dramatically, it was soon apparent that
We have
this
the
was
gun
something
and
more than the
bullets.
usual run of lawlessness.
Food and the radio.
Some began to suspect an obscure kind of conspiracy.
Sooner or later, someone
Things as
bound to come and get us out.
creatures from outer space. So again, we join with law enforcement agencies, urging you to
I don't know, Ben. I don't know about that.
doors and windows securely.
Hey, that's us. We're doing all right.
Precautions of any suspicious strangers, and keep tuned to your radio and television for survival instructions and further details of this continuing story.
Look, I don't know if you're hearing me,
Goes on in the absence of any law.
but I'm going upstairs now.
It's almost as though some critical balance of
If anything should try to break in here, I can hear it from up there. I'll be down to take care of it.
savage killers. We repeat, this radio station
Everything is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later. But you'll be all right for now, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
You can do it, Barbara. Hang in there.
Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured.
Oh, all right. I am going into the second half of the Crazy Calzony. Wish me luck. I can definitely feel myself slowing down a little bit, but, you know, gonna keep it going here and see what I can do. It's like some sort of sci-fi attack fighter attacking my mouth with flavor and heart disease.
Consistent reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers...
If you're interested in picking up a Crazy Calzony from Little Caesars, it was only like $8.49. It's a lot of food for $9.
Victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they kill. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening.
It's almost like a Taco Bell situation where it basically tastes like a Little Caesars pizza. It's just in a different form. So, hey, we got a new character. New characters.
Don't shoot! We're from town. A radio.
County, Pennsylvania. The Butler County Sheriff is verified by their slayers is true.
Hello to you as well. You know?
How long you guys been down there? I could use some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How were we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody...
Oh.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there.
We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things were in the house afterward.
And you wouldn't come up and help?
Well, if there were more...
The racket sounded like the place was being ripped apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
Now, wait a minute. You just got finished saying you couldn't hear from down there. Now you say it sounded like the place was being ripped apart. It would be nice if you get your story straight, man.
All right, now you tell me. I'm not going to take that kind of a chance when we got a safe place. We look into a safe place, and you're telling us we got to risk our lives just because somebody might need help, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, why don't we settle this?
Look, mister, we came up. Okay, we're here. Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah, most of it. All but a few spots upstairs. They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this lousy pile of wood?
His wife and kids downstairs. Kids hurt.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we could fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that up downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy, you know that? You got 1 million windows up here. All these windows, you're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
I told you, those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you they turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any good 5 men can do that.
That's my point. Only there's not going to be 5 or even 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as soon as they know we're here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there are that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar. The cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door, that's all we have to protect. Tom and I fixed it so it locks and boards from the inside. But up here, all these windows, why, we'd never know where they were going to hit us next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there with no windows, if a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right. You know how many's out there?
I don't know. Maybe 6 or 7.
Look, you two can do whatever you like. I'm going back down to the cellar, and you better decide. Because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to unlock it again no matter what happens.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours.
Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it to the cellar if we have to. And if we do decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up here. So let's at least consider this a while.
You box yourself in the cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
Power struggle, you know?
Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 out there now.
There's more than there were. There are a lot out back, too.
It's all right.
I tell you what, I'm glad I'm doing this video in the afternoon. It's lunchtime right now. It's not nighttime because I said to myself, if I'm going to be eating this whole thing, I'm going to have to work it off. I'm going to have to go take a run later or something. Because I am feeling a little sluggish at the moment. I feel like a zombie. I feel like that naked lady right there. I feel like him, yeah. I got probably the same amount of stuff on my face, too. Marilyn Eastman in a double role.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be at every window and door in this place. We've got to get down into the cellar.
Go down in that damn cellar. Get out of here!
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here. Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the food is part of what I'm fighting for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've got to have food down there. We've got a right.
This is your house.
We've got a right.
You going down there with him?
Well,
Yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
Listen, I got a kid down there. She can't possibly, I couldn't bring her up here. She can't possibly take all the racket and those things smashing through the windows.
Well, you're her father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that trap, that's your business. However, I am not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kid that old man is so stupid. Now, get the hell down in the cellar.
That's my favorite line.
I'm boss up here.
Yeah!
You bastards. You know, I won't open this door again. I mean it.
Mr. Cooper, with your help, we could...
With my help.
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Wait a minute. Judy, come on up here, honey.
Gonna need a little more water.
You're gonna let them get hurt too, huh?
It's all right, honey. Go ahead.
Hello, Judy. I'll be right back.
Together, man. We can fix it up real good. There's lots of places we can run to up here. Mr. Cooper, we'd all be a lot better off if all three of us were working together.
Hey. Hey, kid. He's wrong, you know. I'm not boxing myself in down there.
We repeat, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there, let them. There are two other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard the screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Is she all right?
I don't know what it is. She feels warm. Maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket. I tore a sheet.
Let them stay upstairs. Let them. Too many ways those monsters can get in up there. We'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them in down here.
That's important, isn't it?
What?
To be right, everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
Whatever it isn't just happening here. It's some kind of mass murder. It's going on everywhere. The radio said to stay inside.
Radio?
Radio upstairs. I heard a news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs and you boarded us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. Nothing. They don't know anything yet. There's mass murder everywhere, and people are supposed to look for a safe place to hide.
Take the boards off that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us to tell us what to do. How are we going to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon? We may not enjoy living together, but dying together isn't going to solve anything. Those people aren't our enemies.
Mr. Cooper! Mr. Cooper, Ben found a television set upstairs.
Let's go up. Tom?
Yeah.
If Judy would come downstairs for a few minutes, Harry and I could come upstairs.
Okay, yeah, right away.
Will you do it?
Do I have to?
Look, honey, nothing's going to get done with them down there and us up here. Do this for me.
Okay.
I do not feel good.
Okay, open up.
Folks, I do not feel good right now. I do not recommend eating this whole Crazy Calzony. I hope this is not my last video. After I'm done with this piece, I will take a break, another break, and I'll show you my movie collection, my DVD collection of Night of the Living Dead. Little girl in the movie here, I can't remember her name right now, but she just did a convention appearance along with Russ and Judy and John Russo. Marilyn Eastman passed away recently, rest in peace.
Her brother was killed.
He's still alive,
I gotta go help Ben.
I think. He's passed on. You know, this movie came out a long time ago. Judith is still around. I believe she was at the convention as well. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. This is gonna be hard to get through all this terrible food. But I'm still going. Gotta keep on it.
Don't be afraid of me. I'm Helen Cooper, Harry's wife.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. There's a million weak spots up here. Give me one of those.
Her brother was killed.
And they talk about these windows. I can't see a damn thing. There could be 15 million of those things out there. That's how much good these windows are.
I don't think 15 million. That's a bit much.
Why don't you do something to help somebody?
Here I have it. Drag a couple of those chairs together.
There's a socket over here.
Watch some TV. Good idea.
You better watch this and try to understand what's going on. I don't want anyone's life on my hands.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. If you stay up here, you take orders from me. And that includes leaving the girl alone.
It's on, it's on.
Boom.
No sound.
Ben means business.
Reports, incredible as they seem, are not the results of mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria. What do they think? We're imagining all this? Shut up!
In all parts of the
What if I just puked on camera? Would that be cool or no? Would you guys be mad if I did that?
Who feast upon the flesh of their victims.
Might happen.
Witness accounts of this grisly development came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. And medical examinations of some of the victims
55 minutes into this movie right now.
partially devoured. I think we have some late word of just arriving, and
Time-wise, I feel like I have enough time to finish this, but
this is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington.
I just don't know if I just don't know. I need a break. I need to get to these movies.
Returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that
The first couple episodes I did this show, Public Domain Theater, I would drink. Maybe I should go back to that. Getting drunk instead of stuffing my face with nasty food.
Radio and television was advising people.
But I did it, I did it for Halloween last year, and I thought maybe it'd be a little bit of a tradition.
We're able to report a definite course of action for you.
Haven't really been, it's hard to believe that it's been a whole year since I've done one of these episodes of Public Domain Theater. I've just been busy with stuff. I directed my first feature film in August. That's going to be coming out hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm editing it right now. I got the B-Movie Mania podcast.
So we have that truck. We can get some gas.
Got stuff going on.
There's a pump out by the shed.
I know, that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked.
Emergency meeting called this afternoon by the president.
And I should be working on those projects right now, rather than eating this crazy calzone.
CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an Earth?
Little Caesars, by the way, has very Halloween colors, black and orange. So that's at least pretty cool. That it's a Halloween video with Halloween-themed colors.
Was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now Newsman Don Quinn in Washington
shit.
posed those questions.
It's obvious our best move is to try to get out of here.
How are you going to get over to that pump? Look.
You're coming from a meeting regarding the explosion of the Venus probe?
This reporter on the left is George Romero, a little cameo role for him right there. He's, I want to say 28 years old, 28, 29.
Probe is enough to cause these mutations.
There was a very high degree of radiation.
Well, just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that...
Romero was very tall. He was like 6'1", 7, 6, 8, something like that.
The radiation is not the cause of the mutation.
I can't speak for the entire military at this time.
Never had a chance to meet the man, unfortunately. He passed away in 2017.
Everything is being done.
And I feel bad about that. I wish I had a chance to meet him because from every person I've ever talked to who knew him, or just accounts that you hear online or whatever, the nicest guy you could possibly meet. And so I don't want to say regret, but you know, it would have been nice to have met him at some point. It's just one of those things where I live in central Illinois. I was in Los Angeles for years. I was never in the area because eventually he moved up to Toronto to make movies up there in like the, I want to say early 2000s. So our paths just never crossed, you know, unfortunately.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
Oh, what are you going to do?
You know this area. You from around here?
Judy and I are both from around
All right.
here. We were on our way
I need a break.
Swimming. And Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the lady upstairs dead. Then these other
1 hour into the movie right now.
put a bar across it.
1
It's
hour.
pretty strong.
About a half hour left to finish this.
We've got a sick child, 2 women, 1 woman out of her head, 3 men, and the place is surrounded with these things.
For NASA. Dr. Grimes, you're
Crazy Calzony from Little Caesars. Pizza. Calzony. All right, look, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finish this.
Complications might result from such injury.
How bad has your kid been hurt?
Good advice, Doctor. Now, how about the basic probabilities?
Well,
Look, you go down there and tell, Judy? Yeah, you tell Judy to come up here and you stay with the kid, all right?
direct action taken with regard to the Venus probe. In the cold room at the university, we had a cadaver from which all 4 limbs had been amputated. Sometime early this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its trunk. It was dead, but it opened its
While we're watching the news here, let's check out some movies.
They want you upstairs. Did she ask for me? She had to do it.
This is what we're watching right now.
I don't understand.
Night of the Living Dead from Alpha Video on DVD. My nice trusty copy. This is the one that I've had the longest.
Thank you, Judy.
No frills, you know. Again, since this is public domain, pretty much anybody can put it out if they want to. Anyone can distribute it. So there's this is the version that we're watching right now.
give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried to the
This is
street
the Millennium Edition.
and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them with gasoline and burn them.
And this is a cool DVD to have because there's a ton of special features on it. And there's some really great special features on here, actually.
Is there a fruit cellar here?
And this is like Romero approved. So if you see this out somewhere, pick it up.
I'll see what I can find.
I'll look for the bottles. There's a big key ring down there. There may be a key to the gas pump on it. I'll check.
We can toss the cocktails from a window upstairs.
Up next.
Meantime, a couple of us can go out and try to get the gas and come back for the rest of the people.
This is a version of the film that came out recently. This is a Criterion Collection release of Night of the Living Dead. And the print of this movie is just perfect. It looks fantastic. If you do not own the film and there's one, one version that you are going to buy, this would be it. This is what you want right here. Criterion Collection's Night of the Living Dead Blu-ray, if you have a Blu-ray player. Lots of special features on this as well. Beautiful print, like I said. Beautiful packaging, beautiful artwork. Just top-notch all around. Absolutely love having this in my collection.
After we get the gas and get back into the house,
This
worry about getting everybody into the truck.
is the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead, directed by Tom Savini, who did special effects for several of George Romero's movies, is in several of George Romero's movies, and did an absolutely great job directing this remake.
You always have a smile.
Tony Todd is in it. Patricia Tallman as Barbara. A lot of people love her take on Barbara in this film. I agree. It's great.
Tom, are you sure about the phone?
Great disc, great Blu-ray. Pick it up.
All you get is a recorded message.
If I could only call the phone.
This, oh boy, is the 30th anniversary edition of Night of the Living Dead.
We'll call them. They might even be there.
And this movie is a little controversial in the sense that John Russo, the co-writer of the film, went in and redid parts of it, or I should say he shot new scenes to add to the 30th anniversary edition of the film, and there's a new score.
You have to go out there.
I know how to handle that truck.
And so this one's not for everyone because it is, you know, not the original. It's the original film, but it's altered, you know. So
But there's gonna be more and more of those things.
some people don't care for it. I accidentally rented this one time from Family Video years ago, not realizing that it was the 30th anniversary edition. And I'm like, what? I was really confused for a second. But it's different, and there are a lot of special features on this. So I recommend picking it up. And you can, you know, kind of judge for yourself whether or not you like this version of it. Cool packaging too, you know, you got the gray cover with the gray case and everything. I like it. This version of Night of the Living Dead, as you can see, is Night of the Living Dead 3D, the 2D version, starring Sid Haig. This is a completely different movie. I think they shot this in mid-2000s. Yeah, 2006 this came out. Sid Haig is the star of it. I know that some people don't like this movie. I actually like it quite a bit. It's a different take on things, but at the same time, it's the classic story. I think it looks really good. I mean, Sid Haig is great in, you know, anything that he was in. So, I don't know. I like this one.
Yes.
Go check it out. See what you think. After that this is actually a sequel to Night of the Living Dead 3D, and it's called Night of the Living Dead Reanimation. And actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I think this is a prequel. And this has Andrew Divoff and Jeffrey Combs in it. I really like this one as well. My buddy Mark Sykes is in this film as well. Shout out to Mark. And this is, yeah, this came with 3D glasses, so you can actually, if you buy this, you can watch it in 2D or 3D if you want to. I remember that I tried watching it in 3D and couldn't do it. I don't like 3D. I'm not a 3D kind of guy, but the 2D version is just as good. And there's some fun stuff in this. Like I said, prequel to Night of the Living Dead 3D. Although Sid Haig is not in it, it's Andrew Divoff takes over for that particular role. Don't know why Sid didn't want to come back, but this is a good one too. Bam, bam, bam. This scene right here in the movie is in my short film 127 Condiments, which if you just search for 127 Condiments film, you can watch online. Since I'm such a big George Romero fan, since I'm such a big fan of Night of the Living Dead, I always like to put if I can, put a little clip of Night of the Living Dead in every one of my movies somewhere, which is not the most original thing that's ever been done in the history of the world, and I know that, I recognize that, but I love the movie, it's in the public domain, it's just a fun thing to do. You see it every now and then in movies, you know, because so many people are such big fans of this film. We got some action going on here. Oh, Judy. They've hatched a plan, and this was not part of it. Anyway, keep watching the movie if you want to, or watch my little show and tell going on over here. This is called Night of the Living Dead Resurrection. This is a completely, you know, sort of, I don't know, unauthorized, different people doing Night of the Living Dead. This is a British film, I think. And so I bought it because I love collecting these different versions of Night of the Living Dead. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this is not going to be very good. I was pleasantly surprised. I actually like this one. Again, slightly different take on things, but I enjoyed it. Check it out. I think you can stream this one. I think this is on like Tubi and stuff like that now. Here's a really interesting version of Night of the Living Dead. It's called Night of the Living Dead Reanimated. Not reanimation, but reanimated. And this is really cool. Here, let's get through this part of the movie. This is important. The truck is on fire.
You gotta get away from the pump!
Yeah, you do. I'll come back to this in a second.
Hang on! No! Tom, you're crazy! Get out of the truck!
My jacket's stuck.
My jacket's caught.
My jacket's caught. Close. That sucks. Anyway, Night of the Living Dead Reanimated. This is... Let me see if I can read the back here. Over 100 artists, over 100 styles. One timeless horror classic. So basically, they took the audio from the original film, and then a bunch of different people, a bunch of different artists, did animation to it. And they each do like one scene, you know? It's amazing. This thing is amazing because there's tons of different animation styles. Some of them really good, some of them, you know, kind of crude and amateurish, but it's very charming because it's kind of all over the place. It's an homage, if you will. So if you can find this one, Night of the Living Dead Reanimated, I highly recommend this one.
Cooper!
Damn you, Cooper. Watch how pissed he looks here. Oh, you're gonna get it. Cooper is screwed. The pacing of this movie is really something else, you know? It's the pacing and the editing is so crisp. Boom. It was never going to work, you know. This relationship was just never going to work out. Okay, moving along with my collection. This is something a little bit different called mimesis, which is a word I had never heard of before. I thought for a second that they misspelled nemesis, but no, it's called mimesis, Night of the Living Dead. I looked up the definition of this word one time. It's basically like you're mimicking something. So it's a Night of the Living Dead movie, but there's like a twist to it. It's like fans of Night of the Living Dead sort of trying to recreate the experience or something like that, and then it becomes real, like real stuff starts happening to them. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was an interesting watch. Sid Haig is in this one as well. It looks nice, so I would actually, I know that I'm recommending all of these, but I was pleasantly surprised with this one. Mimesis. We're actually almost through. This is one that I haven't seen yet. It's just Night of the Living Dead with some sort of laugh track on it. I don't know. It's very, it says we take an old flick, we give it a new kick, and take it from old school to cool.
There's supposed to be another broadcast.
I can't recommend this one because I haven't seen it, but like I said, since it's in the public domain, anybody can take it and just kind of do whatever they want with it. Put a laugh track underneath it, or I assume that it's probably like Mystery Science Theater style riffing on it, but it's probably not great. I don't know. So there's that. And then last but certainly not least is just this really neat kind of box set that I have here called the Classics of Horror Collection. And it's got 4 movies in here. This is like a wooden case that it's in. And as you can see, it's got 4 movies listed on the front. Atomic Age Vampire, Beast from Haunted Cave, Carnival of Souls, which is another personal favorite of mine, and Night of the Living Dead. And this is also put out by Alpha Video, so it's basically the same as the first movie that I showed you, just in this neat box set.
Bit her on the arm.
What's wrong?
Check that out.
Who knows what kind of disease those
Super
things
cool.
carry. Is she conscious?
So
She can't walk. She's too weak.
it's the exact same one. I should watch this one sometime because I don't know if I've ever actually watched this version of it, even though it's the same version. Oh, there you go. There's my whole collection of Night of the Living Dead. I have, believe it or not, one more on the way. It's called Rebirth, and I'm very excited about it. It was done by a filmmaker by the name of Roger Connors, who I interviewed, I think earlier this year. Can't remember exactly when we talked, but I did an interview with him for B-Movie Mania. Again, I will put a link down below if you feel like checking this out. But Roger made a movie called Rebirth, and it's a very interesting take on Night of the Living Dead. In fact, it was originally called Night of the Living Dead Rebirth, and some of the people behind the film had a conversation with him, I guess, and asked that he drop Night of the Living Dead from the title, which he did. And so now it's simply called Rebirth. He was kind enough to send me a link to the finished version of the film. I watched it. I was very impressed with what he's done with this, his version of the film. And so I would highly recommend checking it out. It should be here any day. I was hoping that it was going to arrive by the time that I was making this video, but didn't quite work out that way. But it should be here very soon. So you can pre-order the Blu-ray, and it should get to you pretty quick here. If you're interested, I'll put a link down below to that as well, so that if you want to check it out, you can just click down below in the description and find the link for it. Rebirth.
Things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
I don't know, you guys. We're kind of getting down to the end here, the nitty gritty. They're dead. They're all messed up.
An abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. Their window. We heard them making all kind of noise.
Here's the famous line.
Blasted them down. Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat them or burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take you until you get the situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Well, in time, would you say you ought to be able to wrap this up in 24 hours?
Well, we don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to give a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is Bill Cardill, WIC TV 11 News.
Thank you, Bill, for that report.
I don't know, you guys. I mean, it doesn't look like that much, but after you have been through what I have been through, it's a daunting challenge right there. I'll keep on it until the movie's over, though.
I don't know. It isn't the fuse. The power lines are down. Helen, I have to get that.
Against my better judgment.
Haven't you had enough?
Well, 2 people are dead already on account of that guy. Take a look out that window.
Alright, that's all I'm doing. I'm done. I could save this and eat the rest of it for lunch in a couple days, like, there's just no point in torturing yourself. I'm usually pretty good at not overeating. So, I think I did pretty good. Just like last year, I wasn't able to finish. Last year, I just ran out of time. The movie was so short, the Love Witch was so short, that I just ran out of time. This year, I'm throwing in the towel so that I do not harm myself. I mean, damage done, I'm gonna have to go to the mall or something later on and do some mall walking to burn this off, but good Lord.
Go ahead. You want to stay up here now? Helen, get the cellar.
Climax of the movie.
Get the cellar now. Move!
Uh-oh. Boom. I'll be right back. Well, that's horrifying. Bill Heinzman is back. And Johnny's back. Boy, that is still intense. You kind of your worst fear realized, you know? They're in. The house has been breached. Do one more shot of what I have left here. Not much, but you know, enough for lunch. I mean, along with the crazy bread that I didn't touch, which I didn't think I would. You know, that's minus the napkins. It's not too bad. I think I did all right. The thing about the ending of this movie, you know, like, there was such an argument earlier about upstairs versus downstairs, and Ben was very hesitant to hole himself up in the basement here, in the cellar, because he didn't want to be trapped. But here he is, you know. So, Carl, it turns out, was right. So, note to self, to yourself, if this ever happens in real life and you got a basement, like I do, like I'm in the basement right now, maybe not the worst idea in the world to just hole up and ride it out, you know, and hope for the best. Stock up some canned food and things like that, you know, and hope that a gang of men with guns don't show up to do bad things. Pack up my crazy bread here and save this for later. Hope nobody's too disappointed that I didn't finish. I just don't really feel like being in pain for the rest of the day. Is there a chance that I will be in pain for the rest of the day? Oh, absolutely. absolutely. But I didn't want to... You kind of know your own limits, you know? And as you get older, you can't do stuff like this the way you used to when you were 22 years old or whatever, and not have consequences to it, physically speaking. I've been trying to eat way, way healthier lately. You know, 43 years old. Can't do it like I used to. And sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail in terms of the healthy eating, but the point is I'm trying. Not right now, obviously. But, you know, wanted to do something special for you guys for Halloween, watching Night of the Living Dead here and munching on some Little Caesars. I think it went pretty okay, so I hope you had a good time as we reach the conclusion of the film here. Let's just hone in. Let's just focus in on this for a second.
By the barn. Okay. I believe you guys can follow the wagon down. I only need a few men to check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince.
Yeah, sure looks like it, Cop.
Get up here. Nick, Tony, Steve, you want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire? You, drag that out of here and throw it on the fire. Nothing down here? All right, go ahead down and give him a hand. Let's go check out the house.
There's something there. I heard a noise.
All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes. Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
Shocking, absolutely shocking ending. If somehow this is your first time seeing the film, first of all, I apologize that you had to see it this way. But B, I didn't want to accidentally spoil anything for anyone. But that is, needless to say, a very famous ending to a film. The racial undertones, if you will, are hard to ignore. Obviously, all of this right here is a big part of it. Poor Ben. Poor Ben. Too bad. Chilly Billy. If I'm not mistaken, Russ Streiner, who played Johnny in the film, is, I believe, uncredited. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that would be. He is in the opening credits, but in terms of his role as Johnny, I don't think that he is listed in the actors right there, which is strange because he's such a big part of the film. But, you know, they didn't put the copyright on this thing, and so unfortunately it slipped into the public domain somehow. But George Romero and company went on to do Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, several other films that are absolutely great. And if you haven't seen the rest of those, the zombie trilogy, I would highly recommend checking those out as well. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the movie. I hope you enjoyed my chomping down on some Little Caesars. I hope you have a great Halloween. Maybe I'll do another one of these next Halloween. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything that you would like to see me do for the next episode of Public Domain Theater. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.